I'm here at the University of Florida, IFAS, Mid-Florida Research and Education Center, and I am joined by Dr. Alfred Hua. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
This is an impressive lab, and today we're going to be talking about begonias. What is the economic value of begonias in the United States, and what are some of the challenges that we face with propagating them?
So the begonia refer to several cultivar species, and the one is wax begonia like this one.
This one right here?
Right here, and this is one is top 5 bedding of plants for landscaping in the United States, and the farm-gate value it can reach $150 million every year. As top 5 is very significant ornamental plant species.
Okay.
But the current the species cannot take any heat in Florida. For example, in scorching the heat stress and highlight in summer from July all the way to the early September, the heat stress can kill these plants.
And we have a lot of heat stress here in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
so how can we propagate begonias?
so the propagate the begonia, there's several ways. One is through the seeds, is made for the wax begonia. For some other begonia, for example, tuberous begonia, we're using tube. For wax begonia, we can using leaf discs or the rhizomes. And for cutting, it's much easier, very convenient.
What are some of the ways that you're researching how we can create more non-invasive ornamental plants?
That's a very good question. I think, you know, for example, the wax begonia, and there's a little bit public concern because some people said that this wax begonia could be invasive in the Florida area and damage ecosystem in Florida. So what we are doing, trying to breed sterile, non-invasive wax begonia. So one way is you can make a triploid, and they make the male or female sterile. That's the typical ways, right? So right now, and another student and trying to using technology called CRISPR gene editing to make the male sterile. They don't produce viable pollen. That's the major approach that we are using for develop non-invasive ornamental plant species.
Fascinating. And we're also going to talk today about snapdragons.
Yes, right.
Another beautiful plant we often see in landscaping in Florida. What are some of the challenges with propagating snapdragons?
So the actually snapdragon is beautiful potted and cut flowers and bedding plants and all in the whole nation. And the snapdragon can grow only in Florida in certain seasons. For example, only in the late fall or early spring, but in the summer, the snapdragon suffer a lot of heat stress as well, and similar to the begonia. And under the heat, some snapdragons will not die, but they don't bloom. They don't flower. You don't see any flower bud in there. They mainly grow vegetative leaves like rosette leaves here. So that's a big challenge. We're using different tools and to breed some stress resilient snapdragon. Hopefully we can release some cultivars that can adapt for the summer weather, and in the future you will see some snapdragon in the sidewalks.
And they add so much color to the landscape. They're beautiful.
Yes.
A moment ago, you mentioned CRISPR-edited plants. So let's talk about that. What are the distinctions between those and genetically modified or GMO plants?
For example, this is a marigold, and one PhD student using the CRISPR gene editing to modify the flower color and also modify the compound of the flower to enrich the lutein, which is beneficial for your eyesight.
Interesting.
And that is unlike the GMO, and when we produce some gene-edited product using these materials and this advanced technology, and they are not transgenic one. So which means, and they don't have any foreign gene inside the final product. although the procedures is very similar to the GMO, genetic modification organism, but in the end, there's no transgene in there. It's easy to be released by FDA and the USDA. That's the beauty of this technology.
Yes, very important and ultimately can help improve people's lives. Dr. Hua, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and share your research.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I hope you learned some interesting new things today. I certainly did, and ultimately research that will help all of us have healthier and more beautiful plants and landscaping.